So I run the Abbasi of Young Artists for 6 years now. We usually select artists for the project, but we end up with residency period where you have different artists with different background and not especially an interest of being together.
For this practice, there is just two limitations. We don't talk and we don't release the hand.
So it comes with the idea to be more curating a residency period. I start to discuss with Gauthier Carini from Helvetia, and we come with the idea to bring artists coming from working in the same field, but with different backgrounds. We come with the idea of art and authorities and taboo, and we invite them also to develop this research based on this direction.
One of the most interesting things in this kind of residency is that there is a collective part, but there is also an individual part. The collective part is interesting because the artists come from so different background, context. They also have very different artistic practice.
So we already had Mohamad Abbasi in residency, and so we decided to make an open call to select other person that would be interested to work with him. We select Anastasia Proshutinskaya from Moscow, which is a researcher and curator in contemporary dance, and then we select also this performer and teacher from South Africa, Gavin, Krastin.
I want you to almost imagine that the ceiling ends here, right? So that we've got no space, so everything happens on the floor. And this is also just a bit of a warm-up, but also just to get into our bodies a bit, to experience that momentum.
I am the coach for these three artists for this common residency. There is a part that is very logistical, I made an agenda for them with all the shows they could see in these 3 months. And there is also another aspect is more in the content for the project. So I was a coach, also an artistic coach, or the fourth part of the project, the Swiss part, the point of view of Switzerland.
I'm a curator. I'm curating contemporary dance in Moscow, Russia. I'm also constantly in research, practical research, watching a lot of dance, meeting artists, and also in theoretical research, and that's why I'm time to time giving also lectures on different issues I'm researching.
To see how choreographers really work with time and how differently they do. With what time are they working? Time is a specific medium for dance, same as body.
I'm really interested in dance as ontological suggestion, how artists invent how they can live and how they can live together as a society.
I'm Mohamad Abbasi, I'm from Iran. I work in different disciplines like dance, theater, video dance. I run a center called ICCD, Invisible Center of Contemporary Dance. The title of the center tells you a bit more about the context that we're working on. Everything needs to be done in a kind of unofficial way. A part of me is an artist, I'm making dance pieces or dance movies, but the other part of me is a organizer. I'm directing this center and I'm directing this festival. And the festival is a dance festival, which is also underground. It started as a solo dance festival in 2010, then it became a dance festival. Since 4th edition, it became a kind of international festival, but it's small.
I'm a performance artist from South Africa. I work predominantly in live art performance, although it is very much choreographic based and embodied. But I did also study art, so there is a strong visual element. I use my body, as I said, as my primary tool and materiality in my work. And instead of using art or performance as a means to escape the politics of the body or to transcend one's body, I rather use it as a means to challenge and subvert notions of politics, representation, and presentation, and how the body operates. So how can we use scenography to actually affect the body, or use it to generate or alter a choreography and not just decorate the body?
It's not very common that you have people with so different social, political context, practice, preoccupations. We did discussion with artists, with curators, but it was more like about this specific theme about taboo. What could be a taboo in Switzerland, for example?
Working as a curator in a state-funded cultural center back in Moscow for 6 years really created a very specific experience I can share here. And it is experience of really navigating those uneasy and turbulent waters between a state idea of how culture should be and young artists, especially younger artists, idea what they want to do with their art and with their lives. And so curator is often in the middle trying to mediate and make sure the place is not shut down and the artists are doing what they want.
We don't have the same definition about limitation. And actually it's not just in the level of theory that we normally involve in this residency, but also in the level of practice.
But he's not
I would
my
love
authority.
to bring to this collective discussion in the residency some positive understanding of what authority can mean, because authority, at least in Russian language, also means respect and weight and experience. And I would love really to turn the question not art juxtaposed to authority, but really authority of an art. What authority can art have in the society? What voice or weight it can have in daily life?
Of course, this is notions of authority are governed by social and domestic ideologies, but as well as legal constitutional laws. So I think to have these multiple bodies that are coming from various cultures, various ideologies, various legal systems, various upbringings or religions, where we're all facing different, I suppose, structures, and of course speaking different languages and coming from different histories. I think it's really important that these bodies intersect and collide, because it's through those intersections and collisions that you can really unearth the conversation a bit deeper regarding art and authority.
How your body act in a particular practice, the same as you act in the society. So how your body as an European react to this limitation, which is really different than the dancers of my context.
So we also ask this question, for example, to artists or curators, and it's a very interesting theme. It's not something I think we would, like in Switzerland, like do table ronde, do a talk about this, because we mostly think there is no taboo. And from these reflections, I think everybody can take out content to his individual practice.
I would say one part of this is between us three, to find the dynamic, to start to exchange, to bring some things from our context at the table. And one part is how we meet the other people of this context, the host Swiss context. And how we can get their contribution.
Like actually what do I know about Iran or about South Africa? Like media very often misinform, and it's already a lot, like it's value to know what is happening there from real people, from the field I'm interested in, from dance.
We saw lots of things, we gave workshops, we perform, we meet people, and what I need more. I mean, like, it's a lot already.
We need to have it because art really is a vehicle in which you manifest your democracy. It's a vehicle in which you manifest your ideas and your vision.
To be in Switzerland for a lot of artists from other countries, it's also because I don't think there is a lot of places you can see so many things. If they are all in the same formal, for example, that was also a very interesting discussion about what you see here and what do you not see here.
We first really found ourselves in a little bit of defensive position, looking really from the position we and them. We found so much in common between Russia, Iran, and South Africa, and so much differences between us and Switzerland. So it was definitely not the most soft eye to look at the performances. It took me a while to get into more meaningful conversations with local artists, to see more performances. And the more I see, the more I got interested and the more multidimensional the picture is.
South African art could perhaps be conceptualized as an art or a performance of protest in which it's very content heavy, in that the narrative or the meaning, the story carries weight. Where here there's this great sense of formalism, and I suppose it comes from the Swiss art history and the periods in which the Swiss art scene has grown from, that there's been this, I suppose, time frame for distillation, resulting in a very sleek, formalized art.